a specialist in international arbitration. Eduard, thank you very much for being with us. I've been looking online for a reaction to this Lagarde case, and she said before the trial started that she may have been a little negligent. And someone here is saying 400 million euros. Who could be as negligent as that?
Well, 400 million euros is what the arbitral tribunal decided that was worth Mr. Tapie's compensation. This award was eventually annulled, and Mr. Tapie, and among other people, is now facing a criminal investigation.
It is a sensational case on so many levels. Just sum up for us what Christine Lagarde is accused of having done.
Well, she's accused of being negligent while taking two decisions. First one is referring the long-running dispute between Mr. Tapie and the Republic, the French Republic, for more than 15 years, to refer this dispute to arbitration. That's the first decision she took. And the second decision she took is, once the award was rendered by the arbitral tribunal, not to commence annulment proceedings.
So she could have acted and she didn't act. And I'm just thinking that it's another French head of the IMF in a court case. Obviously, Dominique Strauss-Kahn, the previous one. We're not going to talk about that. It's nothing to do with it. It's just a coincidence. Two French heads of the IMF, successive and involved in court cases. One of the issues people are talking about is the fact that Lagarde approved this massive award to a man, a well-known businessman, quite a character, quite a rogue, some people say, who was a political backer of her then boss, the President Nicolas Sarkozy.
Well, that is for the Court of Justice of the Republic to decide. One thing that the general public should know is that referring disputes to arbitration, it's standard procedure. Many countries around the world, including France, but many other countries, refer disputes to arbitration, which is an effective dispute resolution mechanism. And the second thing is that annulment proceedings are not an appeal. In annulment proceedings, you don't have a review of the merits of the case. There's only a review of formal requirements for the arbitral award. So it might be appropriate to commence annulment proceedings, but it also might be appropriate not to commence proceedings on formal grounds. What the Court of Justice of the Republic will have now to rule is whether or not Mrs. Lagarde's decisions were negligent or not.
And of course, this is someone who has a very strong reputation, a good reputation, and is very much regarded as someone of the future in the French political scene, or indeed in the world economic scene. Do you feel that this case, regardless of how it turns out, could in some way tarnish that reputation, hurt Christine Lagarde?
Well, I cannot comment on her reputation.
OK, thank you very much, sir, for that. We'll leave it there. But thank you, Eduard, for picking through the nuts and bolts of how this will go. It's not going to last, well, it is going to last more than a few days, isn't it, this trial? Clearly, it's going on for a long time. Thank you so very much for joining us. Eduard Salsas, lawyer with Squires, Patton & Boggs, and as we heard, they're specialist on international arbitration. Thank you very much indeed for your time with us here in France.